Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the zakat on livestock, according to the Hanbali fiqh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, salatu wassalamu ala Rasul Kareem, Rabbana taqabbal minna, zidna ilma wa hikma wa huda, asalullah, an yuwafiqna lima yuhibbu wa yarda. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, abduka wa rasuluka, nabiyul ummi, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. أعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا اللهم آتنا نفوسنا تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها اللهم شوفنا. Amma ba'd. All the praises belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything in the creation is small compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's greatness. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's final prophet and messenger is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we send our peace and greetings upon him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send his peace upon him. And we continue on the fiqh al-Hanbaliyah in the Imam al-Sunnah from Ahmad Ibn Hanbal, who explains the things from the Sunnah. And this is the explanation given by Ibn Qudamah in the Umdah, which is a summary of the fiqh Hanbaliyah. And we're on the chapter of the Zakat, and the Zakat on livestock, the Zakat on the different animals. Last time we talked about the Zakat on camels, and on the camels, you have different age camels that you give for the different numbers, and then sheep and goats and things like that. Now it goes on to the other livestock, which there is Zakat upon. And you read the first one, Nawi. What's number one say?
Second, 5 cows.
Yes. No-uthaniya bakara. Bakara. The second thing that the zakat is on cows, on bakara. And in Arabic, what's meant by the Islamic law, the cows refer to all the animals that are in the cow family. That includes the buffalo, it includes the bison, it includes everything that's similar to cows. That's their oxen, right? Yes, all those. So that's what it is, and there's zakat on them when they keep the bakara. So that's the second type that the zakat is upon. Last time we talked about the camels, and people in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to have lots of camels. They used to use them for trade. They used to go from one land to another, carry the goods. So there was a zakat on them. Then this section it goes on to the different types. So the second type is the cows. That's the second type. Read number two, Noe. Let's say.
There is nothing on them till they reach 30.
Yeah, so if a person they have less than 30 cows, or 30 buffalo, 30 oxen, 30 cows, there's no zakat on them until they reach 30. Until 30 cows, that's when the zakat becomes on them. Less than 30, there's no zakat on them. So if a person they have 5 cows, there's no zakat on it. 1 cow, they have no zakat on it. 25 cows, no zakat on it. 29 cows, no zakat. And then 30 cows, then there's zakat on them. On 30 cows, that's when the person they reach that, then they pay the zakat on the 30 cows. And this here is talking about not about trade. There's another chapter on the trade where a person they sell things as merchandise. So that's a different issue. This is when a person they raise the cows, and so that's what it's talking about there. Okay, inshallah, so read number 3.
فيجب فيها تبيعة
Mhm.
أو تبيعة لها سنة.
Yes. So what happens is once you reach 30 cows, then the person they have to give a tabiyah. Tabiyah, and tabiyah it refers to a 1-year-old calf, a cow that's 1 year old. And what that refers to is what happened. Tabiyah is a cow that follows its mother. That's what literally it means. Tabiyah means to follow, and tabiyah is when the cow is young. And what happens is when it's a young calf, then it follows its mother. So when you reach 30, yes, 1 tabiyah, 1 younger cow, 1-year-old cow. That's what's required when it reaches 30. 1 tabiyah, the follower, one that follows its mother. Okay, the number 4, you read that, Nawi?
40 cows, give a 2-year-old cow. That's 2.
Yes, musinna is the term for it. When you reach 40 cows, then you give a 2-year-old cow, and the 2-year-old cow is called musinna, and literally it means that a cow that has teeth. Because the younger cow, what happens is it feeds from its mother, suckles from its mother, so it doesn't really have teeth. But then when it reaches 2 years old, then it has teeth and it eats the grass and the hay and things like that. And that's a little bit older cow, 2-year-old. And the term they use that is musinna. So for cows, the 2 terms you have to remember is tabi'i, which is one that follows its mother, a younger one, and musinna, one that has the teeth. And 30 you give a tabi'i, and 40 you give a musinna. Let's read the next one, number 5.
60 ففيها تبيعان.
Yes,
We have 60 cows and there are 2 calves that
yes,
follow the mother.
yes. So 60 cows, you give 2 tabiyas. So the thing to keep in mind, 30 is a tabiya, 40 is a musinna. So 2 times 30 is 60, so you give 2 tabiya, and that comes out to be 60. So that's what he mentions in point number 5. When you reach 60, then you give 2 tabiya. Okay, read number 7, Noe.
70 cows, 1 calf, and 1 cow.
Yes, so 70, you have 40 and 30. So 40 is a musinna and 30 is a tabi'i. So he says give 1 tabi'i and 1 musinna. That comes out to be 70. Okay, so far so good. Okay, read number 8.
ثم في كل 30 تبيع وفي كل 40 مسنة.
Yes.
Then after that, for every 30 calf, there's for every 30 cows, add a calf.
Yes.
Or for every 40, add a cow.
Yes. So every 30 you give a tabi'i, the one that follows its mother, and for every 40 you give a musinna. So you have to use those variations. So you have, like for example, if you have 120, 120 is 3 times 40, so you can give 3 musinnas.
Yeah.
Or you can do 4 times 30, you can give 4 tabi'is, for 120. So that's what they have. So that's the cows, so the cows, remember 30 cows and 40 cows. Okay, Ar-Rahma? You're following along, hon? Okay, inshallah. Okay, to read number 9.
Third type, sheep and goats.
Yes, the no thalatha, the third type, is ghanam. Ghanam. And the ghanam, what they refer to is sheep and goats that they keep together. Do you know the difference between a sheep and a goat, Rahma? What's the difference? Sheep are what?
Different animals.
Yes, they're different than goats, but how can you tell the difference? Sheep is fluffy, goats have horns. Well, sheep have horns too. The rams, they have horns also. And it's very hard to tell the difference. If you go to a farm and you see some animals there, you don't know if it's a sheep or if it's a goat. And the only way you can tell the difference is by the fur. The sheep have wool and the goats have fur. That's the way that you can tell the difference. Otherwise,
They like to climb the mountains. They're very slow and docile.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, inshallah. But if you see them, if you ever go to a farm, then it's very hard to tell them apart. So what they do is they call them ghanam, they keep them together, and the ruling goes for them what you have together, the sheep and the goats. So it could be either one. But over here, what we're going to say is sheeps, because but it refers to both the sheep and the goats when you keep them together. So that's the third type where the zakat is on the ghanam, the sheep and the goats. Okay, all right. Let's read number 10, Noe.
Nothing on them until they reach 40. 1 sheep is due.
Yes. So the sheep and the goats, the ghanam, the 40 sheep, that 1 sheep is due when you reach 40. So the animals that you give in the zakat, it's a little bit, you have to know the rules for it. It's not straightforward sometimes, So 40, you give 1 sheep. Okay, then read the next one, number 11.
إلى 20 و100 فإذا زادت واحدة ففيها شاتان.
Yes.
To 120, and if any increase, then 2 sheep are due.
Yes. So the second step is 120. 40, you give 1 sheep. 120, you give 2 sheep. So it's not 40.
There's no additional.
No, there's no additional sheep until you get to the 120. So it's not every 40 like there is in the money, but 40, then 120. The 120, you give 2 sheep. Okay, number 12, Noe.
To 200, and any increase, 3 sheep are due.
Yes. So then the next step point is 200. So you have 80, increases 80, then you give 1 more sheep. First one is 40, then increased by 80. That's 120, you give 2. Then 200, you give 3. Okay, 200, you give 3 sheep. Okay, read number 13.
ثم في كل 100 شاة.
Yes.
For every 100, 1 sheep.
Yes. Yes. So then after 200, every 100 you add 1 sheep onto it. So 200 you give 3 sheep, 300 you give 4 sheep, 400 you give 5 sheep, 600 you give 7 sheep. That's how it goes after that. So then at that point, then every 100 you add 1 sheep. Okay, that's how you do it on sheep. And sheep and goats, that is, All right, let's go to number 14, Noe.
Don't take them to charity, the head billy goat.
Yeah, so one of the things not to take is the tais. And I heard this before, and I was like, what do they mean by a billy goat? And what they mean by that, what happens is when a farmer, they have a shepherd of sheep, they have one that's like the main guy, the main shot, and all the other sheep follow him, and they call that the tais. So what happens is, they call that the billy goat. That's when you look at the translation. But when a shepherd, he has a lot of sheep. There's one main one that all the other sheep follow. So for the person that collects the zakat, he shouldn't take that one, the one that's the tais, the one that's a billy goat, and the one that the other sheep they follow. It shouldn't do that. Okay, read number 15.
ولا ذات عوض ولا قرن, nor the one that's blind in one eye or the one advanced in years.
That's right. Yes. So what happens is the zakat collector, he goes and he collects the zakat. That's one of the hadiths. That's one of the hadiths that say it's not like over here where people they have to submit to things for the zakat, but there's a person that's employed in the Islamic government, and he goes and he informs people what the zakat is due. And what happens is he shouldn't take the worst of them, not a sheep that's blind, and not one that's faulty, not one that's so old in years. Not take the lowest quality sheep when you're collecting the zakat. Okay, and then number 17, not take the one. No way, you don't read that one.
Nor giving or giving birth.
Yes, don't take one that's giving birth, or nor take one that's given in birth. That means don't take like a baby, what do you call a baby lamb? There's a baby sheep, and then don't take one that's pregnant and that's giving birth. No, the zakat collector should not take one of those. On that. Okay, number 18.
ولا أكون, not the fattened one.
Yes, don't take the one that's been fattened for eating. Maybe the farmer is like fattening one up that he wants to eat, and you don't want to take that one because that one the farmer wants to keep for himself. Okay, read number 19.
Don't take the worst of the wealth or the best.
Yes. So the collector that goes there, he doesn't take the best of the sheep, and nor of the worst of the sheep, but take one in the middle, the middling one, the middle quality sheep. So that's what the zakat collector does. So if a person, like for example, if they have 200 sheep, then he owes 3 sheep. So the zakat collector will take 3 of the middle class sheep, not the 3 best ones, not the 3 worst ones, the 3 in the middle. Okay, so that's what that point is. Number 19. Let's read number 20. Imam Faisal.
إلا أن يتبرع به أرباب المال.
Yes.
The owner wants to give it.
Yes. So the owner of the sheep, he might say, that's fine, take a better quality sheep, then he'll get extra reward because these sheep are going to sadaqah. They're going to help the poor and the needy and things like that. So then the zakat collector, if he's smart, he'll say, okay, take the sheep that's better quality and I'll get more reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because I gave a more virtuous wealth in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, all right, number 21.
ولا
No.
يخرج إلا أنثى صحيحة إلا في 30 من البقر وابن لبون مكان بنت مخاض. Don't take except a pure female, except 30 from a cow, or a son of a milking camel had taken the place of the daughter of a pregnant camel. That is 2-year-old camel taken instead of a 1-year-old. 2-year-old camel.
Yes. Okay, so what happens is if there's a first point, is a unta sahiha, and what this means is this is a female, and the female one in the future will become pregnant and give a child, so you don't want to take the best one, except 30 from a cow, and again 30 from a cow was a tabi'i, so from that you can take that. And then the second one, it's mentioned. Well, Ibn Laboon, Makan bintul Makhad. So what happens is, don't take a Ibn Laboon, don't take a son of a one that gives the milk. That's the camel, instead of a bintul Makhad. Please don't switch these around. That's what the Sheikh is saying. Okay, so that's what he's saying. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about that in the last lesson. What happens is sometimes a person, they have to give a bintul makhad, and the bintul makhad is a daughter of is a 1-year-old female camel. So if they don't have that, then they give a 2-year-old male camel. So we talked about that over there.
Okay. They don't have a 1-year-old female, they take a 2-year-old male.
Yes, that's what we talked about in the camels. Okay, so that's what it's saying over here when it's talking about female camels. You don't want to. The thing is, when the farmer has a herd of sheep, he has males and females, and people they want to keep the females. The farmer would normally speak want to keep the females, because then the females that give birth to the other animals. So then the collector should try to aim for taking the male camels. That's basically what he's saying. But the Sheikh, he mentioned the exception. When you have the other lessons there where you can take a female instead of a male. Okay, to read number 22. Noe?
If there is only male or sick grazing livestock, then one of them is sufficient.
Yes, if on the herd there's only male camels there's no females, then the person can take one of them, that's fine. They don't have to necessarily take a female. And also, if all of them are sick, then you take one of them. But normally speaking, you don't take the ones that are sick and you don't take the ones that are low quality, you take the one in the middle. But if all of them are like that, then you take one of them that's with them. Okay, read number 23, Imam Faisal.
ولا يخرج إلا جذعة
Mhm.
من الضأن
Yes,
أو ثنية من المعز.
yes.
Do
So,
not take except a 6-month-old from the sheep or a 1-year-old from the goat.
yes. So you have the minimum age that you have from the animals that you take. There has to be at least 6 months from a sheep and 1 year from a goat. And younger than that, you don't take them. You got to take at least that old on the sheep and the goats when you collect the zakat. And usually goats are smaller than sheep. So 6 months old of a sheep, it's like the same size of a 1-year-old goat. So that's what they say. So you take them on them. So that's what he's saying for the minimum age.
It's the same
What you
for the
take.
slaughter.
Right, yes. That's what they say for the udhiyah also. Some people, they say 1 year and 2 years, but that's also a narration. 6 months from the sheep and 1 year from the goat. No, that's right in the slaughtering. Okay, to read number 24, Noe?
The years are what is noted, except if the owner chooses to give older than required.
Yes, so a person, they have to take the same age what's required, but the owner might say, that's fine, take one that's older, then he'll get more reward. So a person, when they owe the zakat, they're allowed to give more, and then they'll get extra reward in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's what the Shaykh is saying over here.
So generally, the younger the animal, the less valuable.
Right, yes, it goes by the age. Right, because they get bigger, and they're more weight and more meat in them and things like that, so they get more of that. Right, yes, that's true, no. Okay, to read number 25. No, we can read that one.
Or all are small, and then take a small animal.
Yes, if they have the herd of all animals, they're all small animals, then you take it from the herd that they have. So if they're all small, then you take a small one. Like, for example, a person, they all have goats and they're all less than 6 months old, then you got to take one of them that's less than 6 months old. No, you don't take, because all of them are less than 6 months old, so you take one of them that's there. All right, number 26, Imam Faisal, you read that one.
كان فيها سحاح ومراض
Mhm.
ومراض ذكور وإناث صغار وكبار أخرج الصحيحة كبيرة قيمتها على قيمة المالين.
Yes. So what happens is the zakat collector has to do an assessment on what he has on the animals, and then determine which one is in the middle. Then he might take one that's more virtuous, and then he has to give back to the farmer what is due on him.
Really?
Yes, that's what it says, so that it's being completely just. So let's say the farmer, he has 100 sheep, and 90 of them are all sick, and 10 of them are good quality. So then the zakat collector will take one of the ones on the good quality one, but you find that the other 90 are sick, so he has to return the value of it, the difference between the good quality, and because the one in the middle would be like what do you call it, like maybe like 80% good quality, 80% sick, and 20% good quality. So he's got to do that calculation to see like how much is owed to the farmer that he took from the good quality. So the middle one, if he has like 80 that are all sick and 20 that are good, then there would be one that's sick right in the middle, right? But then he has 20 that are good quality, so he would take one of the ones on the good quality. So he would owe the farmer the appropriate amount because he took one that's of better quality than was owed. That's the point there. That's there. Is that clear, Noe, on that point?
Okay. Is there a hole in for the animal where it's for counting it? You say 40 sheep.
You look at how many that's there. They talk about in the books of fiqh if a sheep is pregnant, whether you count the animal that's pregnant too. I think you do count it at the end. I think when you're doing the assessment for it, I believe you so. I gotta look it up, see what they say. So they have that issue that's there also. If you have how many, what's the exact number of the person they have, and if there's some that are pregnant and they're going to give birth to one, do you add that on to the total or not? So those are issues that come up. They look more in the advanced books of zakat. They talk about that, inshallah. All right, you read number 27.
If there are big فإن كان فيها بخاتي وأعراض وبقر وجوانس ومعز ووطن وكرام واللئام والسمان ومهازي أخذ من أحدهما بقدر قيمة المالين.
Yes.
There's
So,
big hump camels, unbred cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, noble, mean, fat, and thin. Take from the amount equal to the value of what is.
yes. So what happens is the zakat collector will go there and see all the animals that the farmer has, that the shepherd has. Then he's going to determine what's the middle value and how much that's owed, and then take an animal that's equivalent to what's owed from the middle value. As a person, they might have a farm, they might have so many different types of animals, and then also the animals that they have, they're different qualities of animals too. But some camels, they have the big humps. Some of them are bred sheep. Some of them are unbred. So there are different values of them. So the zakat collector has to determine that. Because they're not all equivalent in value. They have different values. Then he has to determine what's owed, then take what's owed. And if he takes something better than what's owed, then he's got to return to the farmer, to the person, the difference in the value. So that's the point over there. So as you have over here, he's mentioned they're big humped camels, and then you have unhumped camels. They're different in value. You have unbred sheep and bred sheep. Some of them are better quality than other ones. Then you have cows, buffaloes. They're different in value. Cows are different in value than buffaloes, than bison. Then you have that issue. Then you have goats, sheep, noble and mean, and some are skinny, some of them are fat. So all these things are the person they have to take into account, the zakat collector, and take the one that's in the middle, and then take exactly the amount that's in the middle. And if he takes more than that, he's got to return to the farmer the difference in the value. Okay, let's go to number 28. Yes, yes. Right, yes. Yes, that's what the Sheikh said from Ibn Qudamah, in the Hanbali fiqh. Okay, now we read number 28.
If a group of grazing animals are mixed together for a full year and their pasture, stallion, sleeping place, living place, and drinking place are all the same, then the ruling on their zakat is the same as the ruling on the zakat of one individual.
Yes, so sometimes a person, they have a farm and there's like 10 different owners of the farm, but where they keep the animals together in one place, then he takes zakat on those animals. They don't go to a place, let's say a person, they go to a place, there's 100 sheep there, and they say, oh, there's 10 different owners, 10, 10, 10, 10, so they don't take, then you say none is due. That's not the case. They have to give 2 sheep from it, because they're all kept in one place. So that's how you look at it when you look at the animals, when you take the zakat. If they're all kept in one place, like the person, he said, if they're kept together 1 year, and their pasture is the same, their stallion is the same, their sleeping place is the same, milking place is the same, then you look at it as one entity. Now they talk about in the other books of fiqh that it's not allowed to divide it into parts to give less, or join them together to give more. Those things are not allowed. So just look at them when they're all together and give the zakat from them, from the animals that are present there. Okay, then it's even more just. You read number 29, Noe?
If the obligatory amount is taken only from one of them, the proportioned amount is returned to him from his partner.
Yes. So let's say that your person, they have 40 sheep and there's 4 different owners, right? So the zakat collector is going to take one of the sheep. Then one of the guys come, oh, you took my sheep. What about the other 3 guys, right? So then, you got to make it just, between them. They all have to share in the amount. So that's what that point is, over there. So you're saying that if one of the animals are taken that belongs particular to one person, then the other people are responsible to pay their due to it. It's not just that one is taken from one person and the other ones are scot-free. No. All right, read number 30. Mhm.
إلا في إيمان.
Yes.
And
So
mixing only affects grazing animals.
yes. So this is only affects when you have the sheep and the goats where you put them together to determine the zakat. It's not on the money. The person that have wealth on the money, you don't mix it together. You know, each person has their own. But just on the animals that the livestock that they have that's kept together in one place, then you look at the zakat on the one, you know, the conglomerate, the union of all the animals together, the joining together of all the animals, and that's the only place that you do that. You know, other places you have to look at each owner separately. But that's what the Sheikh said on that point. Okay, Chalo. Okay, so we'll stop over here. Let's go to the question and answer. These things are for the zakat of the animals. Then there's more details if you look in the other books of fiqh where they explain the things in a little bit more detail, especially on the part of joining the animals together and separating them. You know, so it talks a little bit about that. And so that's the ruling on it on the zakat. And the other thing is in Islam, what happens is the hadith says, "Khud sadaqah min ni'a'ihim." So the zakat collector, he goes there and he determines the zakat that's owed. It's not that people they have to give it on their own. The zakat collector has to go and inform people what's owed on the zakat, and they hire the people that do that to be collectors of the zakat. You know, the Islamic society. Okay, inshallah. Okay, Noe, do you have any questions or comments?
No.
No. Okay, it's really unfortunate. People are city folk. I think Noe is a city folk, right? Have you ever seen a goat?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a sheep?
Yeah.
Seen a camel?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, see. Okay.
What-
I think
what
you
do
saw it
mean,
in
kind
Morocco,
of?
right? Yes. But
I
most
saw it
people,
here, too.
a camel over here too? Oh, okay, see.
No, not camel over here.
You ever milked a cow?
No.
No, okay,
You
see,
milk a
that's.
cow?
Hmm?
You milk a cow?
Yeah, I think I might have, I think once in my life, like maybe 40 years ago or so. So people are city folks, so these animals are like, it's like really weird because they have no idea what's going on. But whenever you go to the supermarket, you know, you eat meat. That's what it's about, you know, eating these animals. But people are city folks, they don't know about animals and they don't know about, they don't know first thing. You gotta go and try to milk a bull, Noe?
No.
That's a joke they say. Oh, because he's a city folk, he's gonna go there and try to milk a bull. That's what they say. They make fun of people that are from the city. Go and milk a bull, right? Yeah, but you're gonna have a nice time milking a bull, you know. So look at Imam Faisal. Any questions or comments?
Uh,
Okay, inshallah, we could stop over here. Inshallah, if I said anything from the ilm, then you accepted anything from myself, just disregard it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Jazakumullah khair.